Hey everyone, it's Miss Kylie from the Mulberry Public Library. I'm going to be doing a review and a craft on The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. We were originally going to be reviewing this in the Teen Book Club, however with everything going on we're going to do it virtually. So I'm going to just start with a brief review and summary of the book and then we will jump into the craft. So I would definitely recommend this book to ages 12 plus. It's a good transitional book from junior fiction to young adult fiction. And the reason I say that is because there is a lot of violence and there's a lot of battles and everything like that. However, there is no bad language or sexual content whatsoever. Another thing is it's actually part of a trilogy, and the trilogy is called His Dark Materials, which is now being made into a TV series. So definitely check that out. We do have the audiobook available on RB Digital, and we do have the physical book on our shelf here. So definitely check that out. And kind of a brief summary of the first book would be that Lyra is the main character. She's a girl that lives in Oxford, England, and she lives kind of like in this parallel world in which human souls take the form of lifelong animal companions called demons. Hers is a monkey, and he joins her pretty much on all of her quests and adventures throughout the whole book. However, while she's in Oxford, all of these dark forces are at work, and many children have actually been kidnapped, including her best friend Roger. She sets out with an ice bear, a seafarer, a witch, and airman, and a bunch of other people to try to go rescue all of these children that have been kidnapped by goblins. So she heads to the north with all of them, and that starts their quest. So yeah, it's a really cool book. I would definitely rate it maybe a 3.5 out of 5. I could see where a lot of people would like it. It's very fantasy and sci-fi based, so definitely check it out. And now let's start our craft. Let's go. Alright, so we're going to be making a picture of the Northern Lights, and you're going to need some materials. You're going to need some construction paper, so either black or blue is fine, some scrap paper, and some chalk. You can either use chalk that you use outside like on concrete or driveway to make pictures, or you can use pastels like what we are doing. So we're going to start with the landscape. We're going to kind of give like the icy mountain look and hills that you usually find in Iceland and Greenland. Once you have colored that, you're going to grab your scrap paper, and then you're just going to kind of rip it apart. You want it uneven so that way it looks more realistic for when you actually do the Northern Lights. So what you're first going to do is actually outline the edges of the scrap paper with whatever color chalk you would like to do. So I'm doing pink here to start off with, and once you've done that, you're actually going to use your finger to kind of smear it onto the page. Alright, so now that I have finished smearing the pink chalk off the scratch paper onto my black construction paper, you're going to want to repeat this process multiple times using different colors. I would definitely recommend using kind of a bright green, some blues and purples, since that's usually the colors you see for the Northern Lights. If you need some more inspiration, definitely just search it on Google. Just type in Northern Lights and then click on pictures. And try to maybe do the same colors that you see in some of those pictures. So what I'm doing now is I'm just going to continue to, outline the scratch paper and, continue to smear it. And I'm trying some yellow and green, like I had said before, just, try to make it as realistic as possible. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is kind of give the illusion that you see the lights on the water that's in front of the mountains. So you're just kind of going to use the same colors that you did for the northern lights and kind of smear them all together, so that way it looks like a reflection. Alright, so now I'm going to take some black chalk and I'm just going to make some trees. And you want to do this, you know, just make it almost like a Christmas tree. The pine trees that are usually up there in the north. So that's what I'm doing now. So when you are doing this, don't forget to kind of make the reflection of the trees on the water as well. So that way it all comes together like how you did the reflection of the northern lights in the water as well. So I decided after looking at my finished product, I wanted a little bit more green, so I'm just adding in like another layer of northern lights with the colors green and teal. Alright, so once you are finished, I would recommend going back and kind of smearing the northern lights again or smudging them so that way it kind of blends together better. Alright, so now that you have finished smearing in the colors for the northern lights, you're now finished with your picture. If you end up making this picture, definitely send it to us on social media or tag us as well. We'd love to see what you came up with.